But what if I told you, the truth is stranger than it seems? To understand this, and to see the message clearly, we have to start at the very beginning, but not where you might expect. And this is where everything changes. Now, let's get to the real story. The video title: How the Capybara Befriended Crocodiles, and What It Cost the World of Men. Channel name: Sam Proves, Unveiling the Hints of Tales. Not all battles end in war, and not all peace is weakness. Some stories live in whispers, and some creatures speak through silence. This is one of those tales. Somewhere deep in the soft lungs of South America, where the rivers wind like secrets and the air smells of old stories, lives a creature most would never notice. No fangs, no armor, no roar, just fur, stillness, and eyes that hold more understanding than most men. It is the capybara. To many, just a rodent. To a few, a revelation. Because in a world carved by conflict, the capybara does something that defies the nature of beasts. It shares its world with crocodiles. Yes, crocodiles. Ruthless, cold-blooded, primeval kings of the waters. Yet, somehow, they let the capybara live. And not just live, thrive. But how? Why? That is where our tale begins. Long ago, long before the first camera caught a glimpse of their peace, long before science tried to explain the impossible, there was a time when the jungle was not just wild. It was warring. Predators ruled without mercy. Prey fled without hope. Every creature knew its place, and to step outside it meant death. And then, from the shadows of a reed-lined burrow, a capybara was born. But not just any capybara. This one was different. He was curious. He was calm. And more than anything, he listened. While others twitched and fled at every snap of a twig, this capybara watched. When the crocodile slithered into the river's edge, eyes like green fire, others scattered. But not him. He stepped forward, one pace, then another, into the water. He did not beg. He did not challenge. He simply existed. And in that stillness, the crocodiles paused. You see, there is a language older than growls, older than barking or buzzing. It is the language of presence, of trust without trembling, of confidence without conquest. And the capybara spoke it fluently. Each day he returned, not with offerings, not with defense, but with dignity. He grazed beside them, drank where they drank, slept while their teeth glinted beneath the moon. And slowly, something ancient began to shift, not just in the crocodiles, but in the jungle. Then came the night that changed everything. The moon hung low, blood orange and waiting. An anaconda slithered from the shadows, its body whispering across the sand. It smelled hunger. It saw opportunity. It saw the capybara. But just as it coiled, just as its muscles ready to strike, a crocodile moved. Not with violence, not with threat, but with intent. It placed itself between the capybara and the snake. No battle followed. No blood. Just a shift. The anaconda turned and vanished into the reeds. In that moment, the jungle breathed differently. Because one of its fiercest rulers had chosen not to feed, but to protect. And for what? A rodent? A snack? No. A presence. A force that offered no threat, no submission, only respect. Soon, other animals noticed. Sloths hung lower, longer. Birds sang in croc-haunted trees. Even monkeys, notorious for chaos, paused in their mockery. Why? Because the capybara had cracked a code. He hadn't conquered. He hadn't converted. He had simply coexisted. And that coexistence was contagious. But humans, oh humans, We saw this miracle. We filmed it. We blogged it. We made memes and documentaries. And yet, we missed the message. We thought the capybara survived by being soft. We thought peace came from passiveness. We tried to bottle it, put it in training programs, in TED Talks, in mission statements. Be like the capybara, we said. But we missed the one thing the capybara never needed: validation. It didn't ask to be heard. It listened. And in listening, it changed everything. Now pause with me. Take a deep breath. And ask yourself, have I truly ever listened to someone without planning my rebuttal? Have I allowed someone to hold a different truth without labeling them wrong? Do I confuse harmony with agreement? Because here's what the capybara knows. You don't need to be the loudest to be the most heard. You don't need to prove your worth to earn respect. You don't need to win every battle to transform the war. The capybara's tale isn't about nature being kind. It's about how kindness is nature, when we return to it. It's about power that doesn't need a crown. About strength that doesn't break, but bends. And more than that, it's about the price. Because there was a cost. The capybara, for all its peace, also became a mirror. And mirrors make many uncomfortable. Humans who couldn't stand reflection turned the message into manipulation. Be peaceful, they said, as they crushed dissent. Be tolerant, they said, while silencing difference. Don't fight back, they whispered, as they pushed others down. They used the capybara's image, but not its essence. The capybara doesn't let itself be bullied. It doesn't deny danger. It simply doesn't feed it. That's the difference. It teaches that peace is not pretending conflict doesn't exist. It's facing it without fangs. That respect isn't surrender. It's holding space for another without collapsing your own. That empathy doesn't erase you. It expands you. And if we miss that, we trade understanding for uniformity. And uniformity breeds silence. Not the capybara's silence, but the kind that comes from fear. So let me ask again. What crocodile in your life have you labeled too dangerous to sit beside? What conversation have you avoided because it felt too different? What truth have you silenced because the world said it wasn't safe? Maybe, just maybe, that crocodile isn't your enemy. Maybe it's your invitation. To be understood is pleasant, but to understand is powerful. And the capybara? It still floats, still grazes, still watches the world rage and roar, while it remembers. Remembers that not every fight is worth winning. That not every difference is division. That the strongest creatures sometimes walk on 4 soft feet and blink with curiosity instead of judgment. So as your day begins, or winds down, remember this. You don't need to roar to be heard. You don't need to conquer to change the world. You don't need to shout to make peace. Sometimes, you just need to be. Drop your capybara moments below. When you chose calm over chaos. When you sat beside your fears and listened. When peace wasn't easy, but worth it. Let's ripple the water together. And if this tale touched something in you, don't just scroll. Subscribe. Because at Sam Proves, Unveiling the Hints of Tales, we don't just tell stories. We remember truths. Until next time, keep listening to the wild. It remembers what we've forgotten. For not every lesson comes with answers, but every ear that listens, not just hears, grows wiser. So next time you meet silence, listen closely. It might just be telling you everything. Thanks for listening. The story continues in the comments. Share your story and leave your questions. Someone may need it more than you think. And so, do remember how we began? Now you know. This is Sam Proves, Unveiling the Hints of Tales, one story at a time.